Hello everyone, welcome to our podcast. Today we're going to talk about education issues, teachers' rights versus students' rights. The quarrel arose between a student and a teacher. We will listen to their conversation closer. Hope you enjoy it. Ruby, I heard you offended Miss Ellie in the classroom. Why did you talk back to her like that?
But Mr. Kevin, why does it matter? Being a teacher doesn't give you an omnipotent power or something.
But you have to respect her because you are here to learn from her.
So I just told her about my personal opinion about her class. Explain to me why teachers' rights matter.
Well. I think you need to know about social problems related to school. Including America, teachers' rights in many countries are collapsing. Students are unnecessarily rude and disrespectful.
Like what?
Such as calling the teacher's first name without permission. In the US, calling the first name of a teacher is rude and very impolite.
But I didn't call her by her first name.
I'm not talking about the behavior itself. The problem is your attitude.
Well, but what I know is that teachers cannot express their personal opinions in the classroom, right? They can't do anything that's irrelevant to what they teach.
What you said is correct, I can't deny that.
Then what?
But when you reverse it, it means teachers of America have the right and authority to teach the students properly. If the students interrupt the class and disturb their classmates, teachers should prevent it.
Okay, I agree that talking back to her in classroom was wrong, but I still don't get why are you being so serious?
Let me explain. There are certain reasons why I'm telling you such things sincerely from my heart. These days, I'm keeping an eye on the educational problems in the society, especially about the rights of teachers.
But I didn't cause any big problems.
But you still need to think about them because you are the students and you are one of my students. So I have a responsibility to tell you this.
Alright, I'll listen to you.
Good. Most of the cases are related to the Korean education system.
What's the first one?
Can you believe that there was a student who live streamed during class?
During class? That's too much.
Yes, a high school in Gangwon-do, a student streamed a ramen mukbang in the class. The teacher warned him many times, but he ignored it. You can still watch it on YouTube.
Whoa, shocking.
Here's an even more serious case. These students at least watched out for the teacher's warning, but this student felt no guilt from his conscience.
Oh, so this one is even more serious.
A middle school in Cheongnam, a student lay down on a desk right in front of the teacher and was charging his phone.
That's absolutely insane.
Ruby, this is really something. As a teacher, I'd be very offended if any of my students did something like that.
Actually, the culture nowadays is strongly affecting teenagers, and I can feel it. But it doesn't mean that it's okay to be rude.
The classroom is a place where teachers teach and learners learn. I think nothing more should be allowed to happen there. For me, the classroom is where I work.
Yeah, I totally understand. Streaming in class was a bit out of pocket. The situation is more serious than I thought.
This is just the beginning. There are more shocking cases that I prepared. This one is a bit absurd.
Okay, hit me with it.
Can you agree with the opinion that direct writing and dictation is child abuse?
What? Of course not.
A parent in Korea requested the teacher to cease doing dictation at school because it gave their child stress. Some parents even threatened to report the teacher to the police.
No way. Well, dictation was very difficult for me either.
I read an interesting comment while watching the news. It said that 10 years ago, some parents requested that the school only exclude their children from dictation, but now they are requesting to remove it completely from the school because they don't want their children to be treated like fools. Dictation is a basic educational tool for learning a language. I think learning can be difficult, but a change in motivation can solve this problem. That's why schools need us. We teach them and we motivate them. Teaching is my job.
But the teachers shouldn't give additional stress to their students by forcing them to learn in a specific way.
Ruby, we are not trying to do something harmful to the students. What we teach and what you learn is very precious for you. Do you think that teachers should listen to every request of every parent? Is that the most beneficial to your education?
No, it would bring chaos to the classroom. The teacher's role is teaching in the classroom.
Exactly.
Alright, now what's the last one?
Do you have an ancestor who is a royal?
A royal? Do you mean like a princess or a king? I'm not sure.
Okay, well, there was a parent who wrote a letter to the teacher Out of the many, one of the requests said that the teacher must treat her son like a prince because he has king's DNA and that the teacher must not reject her son's behavior.
What? King's DNA? Is she alright?
Well, I don't know much about her, but it was already reported through the news. This one is a bit ridiculous and funny, but it simply shows how prevalent it is for teachers' rights to be invaded.
Oh, Jesus.
When the parents demand something rude, it hurts my heart because they are the ones who have the biggest responsibility toward their children.
I know my mom loves me a lot and I'm always grateful, but I don't want her to be rude because of me.
Right, a child cannot justify the rudeness of parents.
Is there anything more?
Yes, let me finish the cases that I prepared to share with you. Elementary school in Cheonju, a young student who is in third grade slapped the face of the vice principal. It was recorded on the phone and uploaded in the YouTube.
Whoa, now I don't have anything more to say, sir.
These days, some students are totally out of control, both parents and teachers. What do you expect us to do more? Do we have to punish them? This is the social and educational issues that we have to focus on.
Now I can understand a little bit why you're telling me this.
Do you? I just wanted you to realize what you've done is not a matter of behavior, rather it's the matter of attitude of the students. And the teachers' rights must be protected. At least I think so.
I do get what you're trying to point out, sir. However, I do not entirely agree with you. While the teachers' rights do matter, I wouldn't say teachers' rights over students.
Why do you say so?
I do understand that students sometimes act rude to teachers and may ignore them, but we all need to be aware of the fact that students should be put first, not teachers. That's why the students' rights should be more protected rather than the teachers' rights.
But as the teacher and the one who is in charge of managing the classroom, the teacher also deserves certain rights, like the right to maintain discipline and ensure a safe learning environment. Without that, chaos can emerge and no one benefits, not the students, not the teachers, and definitely not the education system as a whole.
I think that's a fair point. Teachers need the absolute right to manage their classroom, but when those rights violate students' basic human rights, that's where it becomes a problem. If we allow teachers to use their authority in ways that violate student rights, whether it's physical or control over the students, teachers are not teaching the right thing about respect and equality.
Yes, you're right, Ruby. Abuse of authority should never be allowed. However, justifying the harmful behavior of students should not be allowed either. What I'm trying to say is that if we overprotect the students' rights without addressing their responsibilities and behavior, it could lead to teachers feeling powerless.
But there is a big difference between holding students accountable and suppressing their rights in the name of teaching. Back in the days when the students' rights were powerful, teachers used to punish their students physically and mentally, whether it was whooping them with a stick or making them squats. This type of behavior was very normalized.
Can you give me more examples of teachers abusing students?
Yes, back in the 1980s, students were hit for scoring below a certain grade. For example, in some schools, students who scored below a 50 on a test were made to hold books over their heads while kneeling for hours. Also, in the 70s and the 80s, teachers sometimes enforced strict grooming standards, such as short haircuts and no makeup. The rule breakers were hit in front of the class with a ruler, and some girls had their hair cut in front of the class as a punishment. These strict rules, such as cutting your hair short, continue to this day. And actually, I had to have a bob cut in middle school that I went before.
I think teachers had the wrong idea that strict punishments were an efficient way to teach students. However, as a teacher, I agree that the teachers of the old generation created a lot of problems in the education system. I also agree that these kinds of matters needed to be improved.
Yes, in Gwangju, there was another shocking case. This happened at a school for hearing impaired students. Some teachers, including the school principal, physically abused the students, like beating them with the sticks, fist, basically everything and anything that could be used as a beating weapon. This happened over several years. Even though the teachers were caught, they had a light punishment. And remember, these students were physically disabled too. So people got very upset, and a movie called Silence was made about the story. After the movie came out, the laws were changed to better protect students with disabilities. In this case, First, right to safety and protection. Second, right to education. Third, right to dignity. Right to voice concerns were basically violated.
Whoa, the teachers couldn't even blame it on educational purposes at this point.
This was one of the most shocking cases I've heard. Jumping back to the strict rules and punishments in education, have there been any advances and improvements made ever since?
Yes, an example of an improvement was when the Gyeonggi Student Rights Ordinance was passed. Reports of physical punishment in schools significantly decreased, and teachers and students began to collaborate more. Students felt more secure in expressing their opinions, and teachers saw better engagement from their students. It's a win-win.
Yes, I believe that strict punishments don't bring out the best in a student in an educational way. Back when students were punished, most students did their schoolwork out of fear of the punishment. Now that has decreased, students are more motivated by their goals, such as eternal competition and success. I hope that one day the goal will be to stay motivated by finding a real purpose of education.
That's an important point. Protecting students' rights doesn't mean giving them free will to behave however they want, but it does mean creating an environment where they are treated with respect. And that respect has to go both ways.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, I think the purpose of education is not just academic knowledge, it's about building a healthy, respectful society. When students are taught that their rights are important and that they can stand up for themselves in a respectful manner, they carry that knowledge with them into adulthood. And that's how we build a society that values democracy, equality, and justice.
Yes, you're correct. I hope you understand what I was trying to get across.
Yes, thank you for your advice. This was a helpful conversation. I wish that there comes a society where we students learn in peace and the teachers get respected for their job. I should probably apologize to Miss Ellie.
Good idea. I'm glad that you were able to get something out of this. In that sense, why don't you write a letter to her?
Dear Miss Ellie, it's me, Ruby. Before this letter, I want to say that I'm sorry and I apologize for my bad behavior and for talking back to you. I've had a conversation with Mr. Kevin and really helped me out to look back at my actions and behavior towards teachers. We talked about the rights of teachers and students. At first, I thought that students' rights were absolute, since school is a place for students. However, Mr. Kevin showed many examples of the sad truth of disrespect towards teachers, and that many teachers are struggling because of this issue. We also talk about where to draw the line between discipline and punishment. At first, I thought you were simply punishing me. However, now I realize that it was a part of discipline. Sorry for my ignorance. I wish I knew better. I wish that one day both sides are protected and we can create a peaceful and equal environment. I apologize again. Thank you.